My Intelligent Qigong with Images, bracket 3, presented by Man Tim Lee, date October 2020. Caution: this presentation in part have contents and images that may be strange at first glance, feel disturbed to the viewer. When these conditions occur, you may wish to stop or skip to the next slide to view its other relaxing contents until your mind is settled, then view again. If it might disturb you, it may be better to watch it in the daytime when you are not alone. The Qigong images may occur in any time and anywhere. This presentation may contain different places, different person, different time, and different content. The images appear in very short time, typically 10 seconds, and not repeatable. I record where I was then. It was history. Inconvenience to others is to be avoided. The Qigong images came without words. The author wishes to describe its appearance based on its situation, to let the viewer understand the image occurrence conditions. It might tell you that there is such a kind of image. The other interpretations, inductive conclusions, are all a matter of viewpoint. This presentation may contain sex organ, adult contents. This presentation may be viewed like a photo album. The viewer may flip to an interested image, then to view its content. It shall not affect the understanding to the nature of Qigong intelligence it brings. 615A appeared in dream state. This day in dream state, I saw a person came out from upstairs to the street. I consider this as the staircase of a restaurant toilet outside the Hong Kong Tuen Mun Hong Kyo. This image shall belong to memory recall. 616A appeared in Qigong practice. This was when I practiced Qigong, closed eyes, and saw the two images. One was showing my shoulder. The cross was my two hands doing a move called Qi return. My two forearms folded cross in front of my chest. The other image was the situation that I had two hands pressed on my meridian hole Jingmen. 617A felt in Qigong practice. This was felt during the 3 points combined stand. There were two persons in ancient clothing, sitting cross-legged in lotus positions, inside a cave. Yet when I paid attention to it, there was no image. It was worth to notice that the cave had light shone down, and the person on the left had a dot light. I thought nowadays rarely would people meditate in cave anymore. This image would be an episode of martial arts movie that I watched before. This image shall belong to memory recall. 618A fell in Qigong practice. This was also felt during Qigong practice. It was a move of the first set. Embrace the Qi and pull on top. Both hands stretched out sideways, flat with the shoulder. The outer circle was the characteristics of the third eye. 620A appeared in dream state. This day in dream state, I saw a mountain, a real seen mountain. There was a big piece of red stone. It might mean that there were special mineral. This image shall belong to external Qi signal. 620B appeared in dream state. This dream state was an interest-attracting image. It was a piece of gold, radiating out glitter. This image came after the previous mountain. It was possible that mountain had gold in it. Regrettably, I don't know where that mountain was. If I have seen such a mountain before, then I might have an opportunity to become rich. Gold might be found there. This image shall belong to external Qi signal. 621A appeared in closed eyes. This image came when I closed my eyes at leisure. I consider this as my self-portrait at young age. Image might came from my old photograph. This image shall belong to memory recall. 621B appeared in Qigong practice. These two images were seen during Qigong practice. On the left, it was an internal view of Qi in the meridian hole Dan Tian, below the belly button. On the right, it was a blood vessel Qi gasification effect, showing segments of orange color. 621C appeared in closed eyes. This was when I sat on a bus, closed my eyes and saw my siege dog in transparent view. I consider this as I played with my dogs when I came out of my home. The dog's image left in my eyes with a delayed effect. Until I closed my eyes, it was about 30 minutes. The image left only the outlines. 622A appeared in closed eyes. This was seen in time usage, another form of the display of the third eye. It was red because it was daytime. The sun shone through my eyelid, gave rise to the red image. This shall belong to internal vision. 622B appeared in Qigong practice. This was seen in practicing the 3 points combined stand. Eyes opened, watched the television, closed my eyes, the image still not fade. This image shows how the third eye might display. 622C appeared in Qigong practice. This was seen in 3 points combined stand, a colorful ball with blue light, pink, and light green colors. Very beautiful. 622D appeared in closed eyes. This was seen in closed eyes. It was my hairlines. The hole in black was part of the third eye. This image indicated that the Qi had distributed to the top of my head. This image shall belong to internal vision. 623A appeared in dream state. This image was seen in dream state. It was the brain with a hole. The hole was the meridian hole Bai Hui. 623B appeared in Qigong practice. This was also seen in practice. It was an indication of the Qi distribution in the shoulder and chest in white. These cross were two forearms crossed each other, doing the move called the Qi return. 623C appeared in Qigong practice. This was seen in closed eyes during practice. The black shadow was in shape of the commencing move of the third set, shape spirit stand. Two arms hanging on the side with shoulders straight. An image as this could be seen as in leisure when my eyes closed, only the hands shorter. I read a Chinese book named A Person from Another Universe. It described such a shadow as a little doll. The book also said that the little doll liked to sleep. One have to practice Qigong more until the doll awake can move to be effective. Because this image could be seen often in closed eyes, I consider this as my soul. 623D appeared in Qigong practice. This was seen during Qigong practice of the third set, Shape Spirit Stand, a move called Dragon Head. This image indicated my neck became long. 626A appeared in dream state. This morning before waking up, I saw this image. I consider this as a server at the McDonald's fast food, taking beverage scenario. When I was a customer, I normally would see the backside of the server. Yet, in this Qigong image, I saw the face, a special characteristics of a Qigong image viewed in twisted angle. 626B appeared in dream state. This time period, there was flood in eastern China. In dream state, I saw a person drift floating on big wave. This image shall belong to external Qi signal. 629A appeared in dream state. This day in dream state came a red house near the side of a lake. There was only one house, environment very calm. Yet I don't know where this house was. This image shall belong to external Qi signal. 630A appeared in Qigong practice. When I practiced until the 3 points combined stand, I felt this image. It reflected the change in my legs. When the Qi had run to the legs, it seemed like the skin had burst into networks. My legs turned into scales in the image. Of course, my leg did not turn into scales in real life. It was only a feeling. When I looked, there was no image. 701A felt in Qigong practice. This image also felt during the 3 points combined stand. Two legs muscles could be seen. Part of the muscle was transparent. 701B appeared in Qigong practice. This was seen in the same night practicing Qigong. First was the Qi came out of an arch. I consider it as the scenario of Qi passing through the meridian hole, Yin Bai, up to the Mei Lu. The image later came was the third eye, normally in black, now become red color. 702A felt in Qigong practice. I did not know which movement was it when these images were seen. First appeared was two forearms crossed in front chest, which represented Qi return in the first set, embraced Qi and Paul on top. Later appear, I consider it as indication of the Qi had went to the spinal column. 702B appeared in dream state. This day in dream state, it seemed I ran up to very close to the top of a cave end, seeing only the stones in front of my eyes. Later on appeared a stone statue. I consider this probably because I toured a cave some time ago where the Qi signal was collected then. 704A appeared in dream state. This morning in dream state, I saw a Tai Chi, like the sun radiating out bright light, and the white part of it was orange color. 704B appeared in dream state. Following the above, another image came was this, something like a tiny feather. These feathery features in fact was the hindbrain tissue structure. I consider this image as the qi had gone to the hindbrain. 705A appeared in closed eyes. This was seen in closed eyes. Obviously, it was a piece of bone, a lower leg bone. The red dot might be bone marrow. This image shall belong to internal vision. 705B appeared in nap. This image was seen when I was dozing in a bus. A lady bent down to pick up something. She wore white blouse, blue western skirt. This was like a camera shot looking down, a characteristic of the Qigong image. This image shall belong to external qi signal. 706A appeared in Qigong practice. This image was seen during Qigong practice. It was the scenario of doing the move touch qi, with my palms lifted vertically to sweep left and right in the first set, embrace qi and paw on top. My hands did not feel any special, yet when I closed my eyes to see, this image indicated that my hand had a lot of qi, and when the qi would enter the body through the palms, meridian hole, Lu Gong, shoulder and waist. 707A appeared in dream state. This day in dream state, I saw a door opened, and then a square-topped four-wheeled trolley swiveled into my view. This trolley was used in hospital. I consider this as an external qi signal received because I worked in hospitals. 708A appeared in dream state. In dream state, I saw a string web. I thought about it a long time, then realized that it was used by hotels to cover customers' luggage to prevent thief loss. This image signal might have been received when I walked in and out of the hotels. 708B appeared in dream state. Almost wake-up time, I saw a shop in the turn corner of a street. The door front of the shop had a elliptic neon light signboard, very beautiful. All other features were not clear. It might be a street view in Shanghai. This image shall belong to memory recall. 709A appeared in dream state. This day in dream state, I saw an iron fence drop down and hit a scaffolding. Besides, there was a lady walk by. This instant, I didn't know where the site was. It might be when the gate fell, it created a shock wave for me to receive it. The lady image was flashed in afterwards. This image shall belong to external qi signal, but not necessarily instantaneous of the occurrence. 710A appeared in dream state. This was seen in dream state. A lady, she wore a Broadway-style feather hat. Her body wore a gray, flashing silver, tight long gown. When this image flashed in, there was an umbrella flashlight behind her. From this, I could tell that this image comes from a photo studio. This image shall belong to external qi signal. 723A appeared in dream state. This time I was with wife and children, having holiday in Thailand, Pattaya. In dream state, I saw the hotel's hallway. When we passed the hallway previously, we did not see any cleaner on the floor. Yet in the dream state, this image came with person cleaning the floor. This image shall belong to residual qi signal. 7:25 appeared in nap. This day I was still in Thailand, Pattaya. My wife and children went to the swimming pool, except I awoke very late. When awoke, I still lay on the bed's headboard, feeling drowsy and dozed. It was at this time I saw deep green rectangular frames, from big shrunk into small. Inside that frame, it had a dark shadow of man sitting on wheelchair. I thought normally the image tend to zoom in from small to big, while this time image was receding. 3 days later, me and family arrived in Singapore. My sister called me urgent. I called back to know my father had died. About a month ago, my father had requested me to buy a foldable wheelchair for him. The wheelchair man represented my father. This image could be his death notice. When a person was dying, there might be brainwave activity to tell family member in the form of dream. 7:26 appear in nap. This day me and family already returned to Thailand, Bangkok. In the morning, I had an appointment with my friend to fetch us. Due to traffic, we waited long time at the hotel lobby. Friend didn't yet arrive, so we went back to our room. Having nothing to do, soon I dozed. I saw a handbag carrying lady, seemed looking around for people. Soon the phone rang. The friend informed the arrival, invited us to go down lobby. This image matched the scenario of her, couldn't find us and called the guest phone. I was in hotel room. I saw the hotel lobby situation. This image shall belong to remote viewing. 7:31 appeared in Qigong practice. This was seen in Qigong practice. I consider this as the reflection of the Qi field of the vertebral column. This image shall belong to internal vision. 801 appeared in closed eyes. These two images were seen in closed eyes. First, I massaged my eyes for comfort and saw a shadow of man wearing ancient clothes. Yet I didn't know who it was. I consider this as residual Qi signal. Another image was the Qi from a point to sweep out an open loop. 802 appeared in closed eye with slit. This day after lunch, I returned to my office, sat down and closed my eyes to rest. Immediately I saw myself shifted by 45 degrees opposite to me. Later on, I poked down on my desk, also saw myself poke on desk. This image appeared because I relaxed the meridian holes, Ten Mu and Bai Hui, opened up. By sitting in rest, the body Qi field radiated out and received back through these meridian holes, got to the optical nerve, became image. Left image was received by Ten Mu. The right was received by Bai Hui. 804 appeared in closed eyes. This day in the afternoon, I made use of time, closed my eyes and saw this image. It was the light outside shone through my eyelid to make the third eye to look red. Inside that pupil, I could see the white color. Myself bent down, two hands touching the floor and hips up. This was a move in the third set, shape spirit stand. The orientation was shifted by 135 degrees, heads pointing southwest opposite me. 804 appeared in Qigong practice. This night practice until the move dragon head of the shaped spirit stand. Swung my head left and right in the infinitive figure. I saw the third eye image. Inside the pupil, I could see a ball-shaped object, which composed of tiny dots, like the complex eyes of a fruit fly. This sort of complex eyes, I consider it as the end of the optical nerve. This image shall belong to internal vision. 808A appeared in dream state. These two images were superimposed each other. The white part was the knee bones. The red part was the epitaxial tissue of the brain. This image shall belong to internal vision. 808B appeared in dream state. Following the above came in was my father's image. In my dream state, I saw him bearing a smile on his face and wearing his favorite clothes, a gray clamping cloth in Chinese Tang style. It was his younger look. By this time, he had died over 10 days. This image shall belong to memory recall. 809A appeared in dream state. This day in dream state, I saw the cerebral cortex of the brain and the meridian hole Bai Hui in another form. When the Bai Hui with the influence of the Qi field, the hole opened up and exposed the brain feature, like a person spreading the four limbs. Probably because of this brain feature, the Buddhism symbol could be molded out as in image 508A. 811A appeared in dream state. This was the next day after my father's funeral. In dream state, I saw this image. If I relate the situation with the funeral, there was a session that the ceremony master requested us, family members, to kneel down, heads down, to face the door entrance to avoid conflict with the soul. When I did accordingly, my head down, my meridian hole, Bai Hui, would have an angle pointed to the sky. It was incidentally my Qigong progress to enable me saw this event. This image enabled me to have understood my father's astral body had departed to heaven. 8158 appeared in closed eyes. This day, sitting in a bus, closed my eyes, I saw a leg bone transparent view. I opened my eyes and looked around, did not discover anything. Again looked at an angle to the last seat of the bus. Then I realized there was a woman passenger carrying a baby covered with a big bathing towel, wrapped so tight that even the baby head could not be seen. With this image, I could see through the towel, in see-through vision, the baby's leg. How nice was it to see this image? Later on, I saw my left side. There sat a man about 50 years old. Because of his position, I could only see his shoulder back. I looked at the man and then closed my eyes to rest. I saw his vertebral column, nervous system in this form. Based on the color, it was not blood. I consider this as the meridian line, Du Mai. This image shall belong to transparent view. 816A appeared in closed eyes. This morning, almost wake-up time, I saw an eagle in the sky. When I opened my eyes, I could only see my bedroom ceiling. This image was received by remote sensing. The circle was the boundary of the third eye. Around the eagle were some gray clouds. I considered this image came by remote sensing, yet I could not determine whether this was an instantaneous event. 817A appeared in dream state. This was a dynamic image, quite a complicated environment. It was like looking onto the ground through a scaffolding. On the side of a man was a wall with white tiles. At that time, a hawker pulled his survival tool, the cart, too near the wall. This image shall belong to external Qi signal. 818A appeared in dream state. Early this morning, I was still drowsy. An image flashed in. I saw a person riding a sports bicycle, passed it by a narrow lane outside my window. He wore a gray racing helmet. It might be his motion created a shock wave that I received to have become this image. Yet I did not go to the window to verify whether this was an instantaneous event or not. The image flashed in quickly. It did not give the whole picture. This shall belong to external Qi signal. 818B appeared in closed eyes. Following the above image came another one. It was meridian hole by Hui on the brain. This image shall belong to internal vision. 828A appeared in closed eyes. This was a monk. His left ear had a thick beam of Qi ejecting out. When his head turned, I saw his head had 2 scars. This image shall belong to external Qi signal. 829A appeared in closed eyes. This was in the afternoon when I made use of time. Closed eyes, I saw a lizard. I was near to the toilet window pane. It might be possible that this lizard might be right outside the window wall. Yet I did not look outside to verify its reality. This image shall belong to external Qi signal. 831A appeared in dream state. Yesterday we went to sweep our ancestors' tomb. This morning, almost wake-up time, I saw 3 heads, exactly the same number of ancestors buried in China Shenzhen Dapenghuan. They were my in-law grandpa, in-law grandma, and grandma. I consider these were their soul spirits. The light green cross were their shrouds. I could understood as I was the first time to visit their tombs in years. Could it be they all came to see me, their grandson? My father's bone ash was newly buried yesterday. My father's soul spirit did not appear. 831B appeared in closed eyes. Soon after, I saw my daughter wearing her school uniform, posting her dancing attitude. Another image was a pregnant lady, wearing her pregnant lady fashion, walking by. These images belong to external Qi signal. 901A appeared in nap. Today after lunch in dozing, I saw a still scene of a street of China, Dapenghuan. There were 5 persons sitting on a roadside bench. On the back was a shop with closed slide shutter. The people were in front of the shop. It could be after work, people gather to eat at dinner time. 901B appeared in nap. This was also the street scene of China Shenzhen. A woman bringing a child at the back may be a neighborhood child, only sitting on a little stool, not moving. I came back from Shenzhen already 2 days ago. I still saw images received in there, being released out. In mainland China, it was spacious over there in Shenzhen. Sitting in the touring van, which had big windows, I could have collected the Qi signal going forth and back. These images shall belong to residual Qi signal. 902A appeared in dream state. This day in dream state, I saw a British-style brick house on a ground platform. It was special in the V-welding method of the iron angle flipped front being welded onto a horizontal bar, formed the iron fencing in front of the house. The image was clear. I considered this as signal received during the Shenzhen trip. It might be a woman passenger sitting in front. The residual Qi signal came from her clothes. She might have come recently from the United Kingdom to China for tour. This image shall belong to residual Qi signal. 907A appeared in dream state. This was an image scene. A female wearing a neopet pattern, light blue swimming suit. It seemed she was walking on a beach. There were shades of many people behind. I thought this might be a scene from a movie on the television, yet I did not get an impression of which program it belonged to, so I could not determine whether this was memory recall or external Qi signal. 909A appeared in closed eyes. This was seen in my time usage, closed my eyes at leisure. Immediately I saw this image. With my eyes closed, my eyelid would be like a movie screen. This image was like the scene had opened a hole like so in the darkness. Only one or two white lines and a white dot light. Would you say this was an UFO? If this was an UFO, this image would belong to remote sensing. My third eye might have sensed the UFO's residual boundary of inference, the remain of an UFO field. Yet the Qi can pass through this field to reach my third eye. Therefore, my third eye would display a hole in black. The white lines were variations of the field. The white dot was the third eye characteristics. When the Qi struck on optical nerve, it produced white light. When I received this image, the UFO was not there anymore. It was a residual trace left behind. 913A appeared in dream state. This day I was in Singapore. In dream state I saw numerical 330. From the quality of the fonts, it was displayed in a computer screen. The next day, in a business talk with customer, mentioned about the width available for machine installation. My customer coincidentally said 330 cm. Was this a Qigong prediction or just a coincidence? Because the event was 1 day in advance, it gave me an impression of prediction. Yet what was the meaning was still unknown. This was the intrinsic quality of prediction, a fine line between prediction and coincidence. On the right, it was seen in the afternoon when I closed my eyes. It was a wolf-dog schizo image. 921A appeared in nap. This was seen in dosing. It was meridian hole Lu Gong on the right palm. This image indicated that Lu Gong was opened rather big. The entrance was about 2.5 times 3 cm square. This image was registered when the Qi entered the meridian hole Lu Gong. This shall belong to internal vision. 929A appeared in NAP. This day I was in America ground for outstation work. Inside hotel room I dozed and saw an eye pupil. When the image appeared, it flashed in a woman's face, so I knew it was a female pupil. Later on, I saw a male hip, almost like peeking into a keyhole, very dim. I felt the image were a bit far, not of my room. It may be the neighborhood room tenant, their Qi signal being sensed. This image shall belong to external Qi signal. 938 appeared in dream state. I was still in Guam. This day in dream state, first I saw was an image like this. The environment was a place I lived over 20 years ago. The green wall, the floor tiles, and on the side was a bunker bed that my grandma-in-law slept. Except one extra angle still was laying in there on the bed. Later on, this image evolved into a dream. The floor shook. Then I hurried to have my two hands laid on the wall for security, then quickly crawl into the bed for shelter. The next day, I was afraid that there might be earthquake coming. I returned to Hong Kong as soon as I could. 3 days later, I got to know from the news that there was earthquake in Japan. This image shall belong to crisis prediction. 1001A appeared in Qigong practice. This was an inexplicable example of image seen in Qigong practice. On the left, it was somewhat like the Qi dispersion had sunk down from the back of the thigh. On the right, how shall I understood it? It was just like a Qi streak lines. Yet to the right, last line, I could recognize it. The outer line of face, the forehead, nose, and mouth. 1002A appeared in nap. In dosing, I saw a pair of eyeballs, blue pupil, belonged to Westerner. Yet the rest of the face was not there. It was not a complete signal, or it was residual signal. Later on, I saw a tortoise in 3D stereo, yet it was composed of yellow particles congregation. This was a level of image that might be said to as the astral body of life, a tortoise astral body level. This image could have been brought back from Guam 3 days ago, only displayed to me until this day. 1013A felt in Qigong practice. This night practiced until the 3-point combined stand. It was also the time when the television news report said Japan had earthquake. I closed my eyes while listening to the news. I felt this image. It was composed of tiny particles. It was like the magma was bursting out. 1006A appeared in Qigong practice. This was seen in Qigong practice, 3 points combined stand. On the left was like myself standing there, then I only saw my head and shoulder. This image shall belong to internal vision. On the right, the image was seen because the light shone through my eyelids when my head swung. The stress and strains in the eyes changed the light direction, so formed the cross-hatched pattern. Normally, in eyes closed, I would have seen yellow color. The hotel used incandescent lamps. This night, I saw red color was special. By recording such change, it may bring knowledge of the Qigong development progress. 1010A appear in dream state. This day I was in Singapore. Morning almost wake up time. In dream state I saw a person in the backlighting doing meditation. His left meridian hole, Qi Wu, was emitting a dot of blue light. From the pattern of the carpet, I consider he was Indian. This image shall belong to external Qi signal. To be continued, see my Intelligent Qigong with images, bracket 4. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Peace to the world.